All right, we're going to factor a quadratic trinomial when our a value is not equal to 1. And remember that your a value is just the coefficient or the number attached to your x squared term. So when we start, we're always going to remember to check for a greatest common factor first. Okay, so I look at this problem, 2x squared plus 3x minus 9, and I see that they don't have a numeric value or a variable that all three terms are divisible by, so there's not a GCF. So let's see if we can break this trinomial into two binomial factors. So I am going to set up my empty set of parentheses and then start with my 2x squared term. We're going to use the guess and check method first. 2x squared. What times what makes 2x squared? Well, 2x times x will give me 2x squared. Now let's look at our c term, the minus 9. I know that to get 9, I could multiply 3 times 3 or 9 times 1, so it's our decision. We're just going to pick a pair, and I'm going to start with the 3's first. And because our 9 is a minus, I don't know if I should do a plus here and a minus here or vice versa. So we're going to just check both ways and see which one works. All right, so that's the guessing portion. Now let's check our work. We have to double distribute, so 2x times x gives us our 2x squared. And then 2x times this minus 3 gives us a minus 6x. All right, now let's distribute our positive 3. So 3 times x gives us a plus 3x. And 3 times this minus 9, 3 times the minus 3 gives us a minus 9. Well, I can see that my first term and my last term are correct. They match what we originally started with. But when I combine my like terms right here, I get a negative 3x or a minus 3x when I wanted a positive 3x. So that just means I need to switch my signs. Instead of having a plus first and then a minus, I need to start with a minus and then a plus. And now when we multiply this 2x times 3, we get our positive 6x or plus 6x. And when we multiply this minus 3 times x, this turns into a minus 3x. Now when we combine those two like terms in the center, we get a positive 3x. So the entire factored form is just 2x minus 3 times x plus 3. And it can be a little bit cumbersome, a little tedious at first, a little awkward. The better you are with your multiplication facts and adding and subtracting integers, the easier this will be for you. Also, practice, practice, practice. However, if you practice a lot and you just don't like this method, I would encourage you to watch the factoring method video that I'm going to post on the swing method. You can use a different method if you would like. All right, let's practice one more time. 8x squared plus 10x minus 3. Again, I'm always going to check for a GCF first, and I don't see one here. So let's see if we can factor this trinomial into its two binomial factors. So 8x squared, that's my a term, 8x squared. I know that 4x times 2x will give me an 8x squared. And then I have my minus 3 at the end here. So two values that I can multiply together to make a minus 3 are 3 and 1, but I'm not really sure where I should put the plus and the minus, so I'm just going to pick. There's my guess. Now let's check. So when I multiply 4x times 2x, that gives me 8x squared. And then when I multiply 4x times our minus 1, we get minus 4x. Then, of course, we multiply 3 times 2x, and that will give us a plus 6x. And then 3 times that minus 1 gives us a minus 3. Again, our first and last terms look good. They match the original problem. But when I combine my like terms, there's no way that negative 4x plus 6x gives me this plus 10x. So I need to do some rearranging. Okay, even if I switched the signs around, a negative 6x and a positive 4x still wouldn't work. So let me go ahead and erase these like terms, and I'm going to switch this around. I listed a 3 first and then a 1, so this time I'm going to put a 1 and then a 3. And maybe I'll leave the signs out this time and see if that helps me. All right, so 4x times our 2x does still give me 8x squared. 4x times 3, that'll give me a 12x. Again, I'm not going to put this sign yet. I'm just going to write down the 12x. And then 1 times 2x, that gives me a 2x. And then, of course, we still have the 1 times 3, which is a 3. And I need it to be a negative 3, or a minus 3. So one of these red numbers, this 1 or this 3, needs to be a positive and one needs to be a negative. So how can I make 12x and a 2x combine to make a 10x? Well, the only way that's going to happen is if my 12x is positive and my 2x is a minus 2x. All right, so which terms did we multiply together to get 12x? It was these two, so I need them both to be positive. And which terms did I multiply together to get my 2x? It was these two terms. So if my 2x is positive, that means my 1 must be the minus. And there you go. Your entire factored form is 4x minus 1 times 2x plus 3. And again, you have another option. It's called the swing method. If you would like to check that out, feel free.